Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I brought with me today both of the Melody Beatty books, and I really like both of the titles, so I'm not really sure which one to start with, but I think that I'm going to start with The Language of Letting Go today. If I get to both of them, I get to both of them. We'll see. All right. Now, I haven't read the meditations. I just read the titles. So I'm excited to see what they have to say to us. Are you ready? All right. Accepting Imperfection, February 25th. And this is from The Language of Letting Go. Why do I do this to myself? Asked a woman who wanted to lose weight. I went to my support group feeling so guilty and ashamed because I ate half a cookie that wasn't on the diet. I found out that everyone cheats a little, and some people cheat a lot. I felt so ashamed before I came to the group, as though I were the only one not doing my diet perfectly. Now I know that I'm dieting as well as most, and better than some. Why do we do this to ourselves? I'm not talking strictly about dieting, I'm talking about life. Why do we punish ourselves by thinking that we're inferior, while believing that others are perfect? Whether in relationships, recovery, or a specific task. Whether we're judging ourselves or others, it's two sides of the same coin, perfection. Neither expectation is valid. It is far more accurate and beneficial to tell ourselves that who we are is okay, and what we are doing is good enough. That doesn't mean we won't make mistakes that need correcting. Doesn't mean we won't get off track from time to time. Doesn't mean we can't improve. It means without all our mistakes and wondering, we're basically on course. Encouraging and approving of ourselves is how we help ourselves stay on track. Today I will love and encourage myself. I will tell myself that what I'm doing is good enough, and I'll let myself enjoy that feeling. So I have to tell you kind of a funny story with this. Not a funny story really, but it was kind of like an eye-opening moment for me. So, and some of you will probably remember this, but during the lockdown, I started a literature group. Well, I didn't start it, but some friends of mine started this literature group. And it was like 6 women and me. And so every Monday night, we would get on a Zoom call, and we would read recovery literature, and then we would talk about it and things like that. And they weren't meditations. They were like, 12-step literature and stuff like that. But one night, we came upon the topic of, I think we were talking about character defects. And somehow we started talking about perfection. And this was not a 12-step meeting. So like in 12-step meetings, we don't cross-talk. We don't talk, to somebody and things like that. This was just a group of people talking. And so we would sometimes cross-talk to people. Like we would say, okay, Peter, this is what I think about that, right? So we were talking about perfection, and I can't remember exactly what I said, but I made some comment about, like, I had been a perfectionist much of my life, and, that I really struggle with being a perfectionist and going in and all that kind of stuff. And this woman that I adore, that I really look up to in sobriety, it got to her, and she said, Peter, I feel like I need to say this to you or something. And she said, but, like, I think that's total BS. And I was like, what? And she's like, there is no such thing as being a perfectionist, like we're always going to fall short of that. And that's kind of like this God mentality that people have, that if you say like, oh, I'm a perfectionist, then what you're saying is that you think that you're like God, right? And that, it's this higher power mentality that you think that you can achieve everything perfectly. There is no such thing as perfect. And once we accept that and we realize that we're going to continue to grow and that everything is going to have a little bit of a mistake to it or a little bit of room for growth in it. I mean, I have never in my life done something and I look at it and I stand back and I go, it's absolutely perfect 100%, Even like setting a table or something for Christmas dinner, it's like there's always a fork that's just a little bit off that I could like move and so it's like there is no such thing as perfection. And I think that once we accept that, it really helps us stop basing, our lives on other people or judging ourselves compared to other people. There was much of my life that I constantly looked at, well, who am I compared to other people? And I think that was because I got sober, at 22 and a half. And so I, graduated from college late. I went to graduate school late and got into the workforce late. And so I would have friends of mine, when I was 30 that lived in $500,000 homes and were driving very nice cars and, financially were doing very well. It seemed like I always kind of based it on like financial success instead of happiness and peace and serenity. And, So several years ago, I've shared this on here, I had a friend of mine, and we were talking, and he said to me, we always lose by comparison. And basically what he was saying was, when we compare our lives to other people, okay, or we think they have a perfect life, or they have a really good life, or I wish I had their life, which we really never know what somebody's life looks like behind closed doors, right? But like when we think that way, we always lose by comparison, because our own lives are so specific, to us, and our journey is so specific to us. To embrace our own journey and to say, I'm so happy that I am on this road that is mine. I'm so happy that I have this life that I have, and that my life doesn't necessarily look like anybody else's, and that I wouldn't want to trade my life for somebody else. I don't know what they have. Are there moments where I think to myself, like, God, I wish I had their finances, or I wish I had this, or I wish I had that? Sure, there are many moments like that, right? But would I want to trade my life for somebody else's? Absolutely not, And I get that today. Because in my life, it's the people that I have met. It's the experiences that I've had. It's all of it that has made up my life, this journey that I have. And if I compare myself to somebody else, then I'm missing out on so much of what makes my life so rich, and I don't want to miss out on that, So I've worked very, very hard on not comparing myself to other people, and I'm not going to say that it's, it doesn't happen to me every once in a while when I hear that somebody hits the $1 billion lottery, and I think, oh, I should have bought a ticket, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I think, like, really, like, my cousin Caroline and I were talking about that person hitting, the Powerball, and it's like, other than having, like, overwhelming financial, stability, it's like, to some degree, like, for me at least, I can only speak for me, like, how would my life change, like, internally? Like, would I feel any more serene? Would I feel any more peaceful? Would I be any happier if I could just go and buy anything that I wanted? When I know that that's not ultimately what makes me happy at the end of the day anyway. And so I have to be very careful when I do compare myself to other people, and I have to look at, what am I comparing my life to with them? Why am I comparing it? And really, it's not about what they have. It's about deficits that I feel in myself. It's about what I don't feel that I have within myself, and taking a look at that. So it's a really good meditation. All right, let's read from Journey to the Heart. I'm going to get 2 of them in today. Are you ready? This is a little bit of a long one too. February 25th, learn to help heal yourself. I feel a heaviness in my lungs, almost a pain. The next day I find myself crying, discharging old grief and sadness. On another occasion, I feel sharp pangs in my stomach within days. Denied rage begins to surface and the pain subsides. My head aches, pounds, throbs. Hours later, I feel the fear I've been running from. I feel the energy in my body shifting, moving, taking new shape. Over the next months, I'm led into a new cycle, a new season in my life. Some of the pains and illnesses we suffer from are indications of acute physical problems. They are signs that our body has broken down and we need medical attention. But many of the aches and pains we experience are symptoms of a deeper process, a process of healing and cleansing our heart and soul. As we go through our daily experiences, circumstances will trigger this healing. Someone says something that makes us feel angry or afraid, which triggers a feeling similar to one we repressed years ago. Or a conversation causes us to remember something that hurt us long ago, and our body begins to release the pain of that old emotion. Sometimes our aches and pains are signals that some emotion is ready to surface. We need to acknowledge the feeling, feel the energy, let it pass through us, then watch for the lesson to appear, and then and the pain to dissipate. If we are committed to a path of spiritual growth, our bodies will soon begin to use everything that happens as a vehicle for healing. Trust yourself and listen, and you'll know what to do. You'll find healers and help that will support you as you continue to discover and trust your soul. Remember to trust the simple everyday wisdom of your body. It's a barometer for your soul. I like this meditation a lot, and I don't know why I'm thinking of this specific example, but what it reminds me of is, have you ever been to a funeral of somebody that you know but you don't know really well? Like maybe it's the aunt of a friend or something like that, and you're really going for your friend, you're not really going for the aunt. Because you didn't know them that well maybe, but you're going to pay your respects. And you go, and it's like all of a sudden you find yourself just like almost kind of like this heaving, you know, uncontrollable sadness and crying. And it's like, and you know it's really not for your friend, and you know it's not for the person that passed because you didn't really know them that well. And what you realize is it's for people in your past that have long since passed away, and that you're feeling that grief again inside, you know? And I think that's where we have to allow ourselves to sit in that moment and feel that feeling, you know? I have really, one of the greatest lessons I have learned in the last 10 years is that when I am feeling an emotion, whether it's happiness, excitement, laughter, pain, sadness, anger, I have allowed myself to sit in it and not act on it. And then the not acting on it is the big part on it. Big part of it. Like, I can be angry, I can be sad, I can be happy, whatever. And I can just feel the feeling and feel the emotion. And I don't have to respond or react to it. I don't have to, you know, or act on it. Or, like I said, respond to it. I can wait, and I can really think about how I'm feeling and just allow myself to move through the feeling, to allow myself to move through the emotion, which is healthier for me because on the other side, I'm going to process it and come out, you know, on the other side. So good meditations today. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.